There are things we've always known, yet we choose to ignore them. We live as if time is infinite, as if tomorrow is guaranteed. But the truth is, it's not. Every day that passes is a day we will never get back. What I'm about to say might make you uncomfortable. It might make you want to turn away, but you need to hear it. Because if you don't face the truth now, one day you might regret not listening sooner. The 7 truths you're about to confront aren't just cliches. They are lessons drawn from Stoicism, a way of life that teaches us how to face reality, no matter how harsh it may be. I've learned these lessons through my own struggles, through loss, and I don't want you to have to endure the same pain to understand their value. So, take a moment, set everything else aside and truly listen. The next few minutes you spend on this video might just be among the most important moments of your life. Let's begin. Number 1. We always procrastinate and miss out on life. Have you ever told yourself that you'd start tomorrow? Tomorrow, you'll learn a new skill. Tomorrow, you'll start exercising. Tomorrow, you'll chase your dreams. But then, that tomorrow stretches on endlessly, day after day, month after month, year after year. And one day, you look back and realize you've lost too much time just waiting. You're not just postponing a task, you're postponing your life. We always think we have plenty of time, but that is a dangerous illusion. You don't have as much time as you think. Marcus Aurelius once reminded us, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. You could leave this world at any moment. Let that shape how you live, how you speak, and how you think. Why do we procrastinate? Because we are afraid. Afraid of failure. Afraid of judgment. Afraid that we're not good enough, not ready enough. But the truth is, no one ever truly feels ready. Do you think successful people waited until they had enough skills, enough confidence before they started? No. They began even when they weren't ready. They took action even while they still had doubts. Look at those who have achieved what you desire. Are they more talented than you? Perhaps. But the biggest difference between them and you isn't talent or opportunity. It's that they didn't wait. They didn't wait for things to be perfect. They didn't wait for fear to disappear. They took action. How much time do you think you have left? A year? 10 years? A lifetime? You don't know. No one does. And that's exactly why you don't have the right to put your life on hold, just because you think you'll have another chance. Seneca said, "While we wait for life, life passes. While we wait to start living, life slips away." Life isn't a rough draft you can rewrite. You only get one shot. Will you dare to live it fully? Or will you let fear control you? Let procrastination steal your dreams? But perhaps one of the biggest reasons you delay isn't fear of failure. It's the obsession with perfection. You wait until you're skilled enough, strong enough, perfect enough to do what you want. You think that only when everything is flawless, you can begin. But perfection doesn't exist. It's a clever trap your mind sets to keep you stuck. What are you waiting for? A perfect moment? It will never come. There is no ideal tomorrow, no perfect future version of yourself. There is only right now, the only moment you truly own. If you don't start now, you never will. Imagine one day, you grow old, sitting in a worn-out chair, looking back at your life. What will you see? A long list of things you wanted to do but never did. A series of days lost to fear and hesitation? A life wasted chasing a standard that never existed? Or do you want to look back and know that you dared to live, dared to fail, dared to try, and burned with passion without regret? Maybe you think you'll do everything when you have more time, when things get easier. But remember, there will never be a better time than now. You're not just delaying tasks, you're delaying your life. If you've been waiting for a sign to begin, this is it. There will never be a better time to live the life you want than right now. Don't wait until you're brave enough, perfect enough, or ready enough, because that moment will never come. Only by taking action will you truly begin to live. You cannot control the future, but you can control the choices you make right now. You can choose to keep waiting, to keep delaying, only to wake up one day realizing you've wasted your life waiting for something that never existed. Or you can choose to act, to live, to chase what you want, even if it's imperfect, even if you're not ready. Because if you don't do it now, you may never do it at all. Time never rewinds, and if you don't seize it now, you may never get a second chance. Number 2, we misjudge what truly matters. You think you're living, but in reality, you're merely existing. Every day, you wake up, immerse yourself in work, chase money, pursue recognition, and run after the standards set by society. You believe that by achieving more wealth, more acknowledgement, more success, you'll finally be happy. But at the end of the day, when the night falls and all the glitter fades, you feel empty. Have you ever asked yourself, where am I rushing to? What am I trying to prove? And to whom? We misjudge what truly matters. We are deceived by illusions. Society tells us we need to succeed, that we must have more than others, that we have to become someone to be worthy. And we believe it. We throw ourselves into a race without even understanding why we are running. But who set the finish line? When is it ever enough? And if it's never enough, aren't we just living a meaningless life? Look at those lying in hospital beds, knowing they don't have much time left. Do you think they regret not making more money? Or are they grieving the time they didn't spend with the people they loved? The dreams they didn't dare to chase? The life they didn't have the courage to live? Seneca warned us, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. We do not lack time. We simply squander it on things that don't matter. How many hours a day do you spend mindlessly scrolling through your phone, comparing yourself to others, worrying about things that are insignificant? Have you ever paused to ask yourself, what am I doing all this for? Do you think that if you were richer or more famous, you'd be happier? Look at those who already have everything. Do they seem happy? Or are they still drowning in anxiety, fear, and insecurity? Have you ever considered that maybe you're betting your entire life on an illusion that will never become real? Imagine that tomorrow you no longer exist. Would all the things you are chasing, money, status, fame, still matter? If not, then why are you letting them control your life today? Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." You don't become rich by accumulating more, but by needing less. So, what truly matters? It's the little moments you've been overlooking, a heartfelt conversation, an afternoon walk with someone you love, a time when you dared to be yourself without fear of judgment. These things are not loud or flashy, but when everything else crumbles, they are the only things that remain. The problem isn't that you don't know what's important. The problem is that you know, but you refuse to see it. You ignore the precious moments in exchange for cheap distractions. You trade your peace of mind for the approval of people who don't even care about you. You are selling your life for a price that isn't worth it. If these words make you uncomfortable, it's because deep down you know they are true. And you have two choices. You can dismiss them, keep chasing illusions, and continue living a life that one day you will regret. Or you can wake up. You can decide that from today you will no longer live like a puppet. You will stop letting others dictate what matters to you. You will stop chasing things that, in the end, you can't take with you. You will live a life where, when you look back, you can say, "I did not waste it." So, what will you choose? Will you keep sleeping in illusions, or will you wake up and truly live? The choice is yours. But remember, you don't have much time. If these words made you uncomfortable, if they struck a chord you've been trying to ignore, let them be the push you need to change. Hit like if you know it's time to reevaluate your life. And if you don't want to keep drifting in meaningless pursuits, if you're ready to act before it's too late, subscribe now. I'll be here to remind you of the truth, no matter how hard it is to hear. Number 3. We are stuck in the past and can't let go. You're wasting your life over what has passed. Do you think that by constantly replaying your mistakes, your pain, and the opportunities you lost, you can somehow change the past? No, it's gone. But you're still alive. And yet, you're allowing what's already dead to hold you back, to drag you down like a stone tied to your feet, pulling you deeper into the abyss of regret and despair. You need to hear this. The past no longer matters. Do you even realize what you're doing? You sit there, drowning in old memories, punishing yourself with the same looping thoughts. If only I had done things differently. I don't deserve to be happy. I can't move on. But what do these thoughts accomplish? They are nothing but empty echoes in your mind, invisible chains that you have locked onto yourself. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Forget everything else. Keep hold of this alone and remember it. Each of us lives only now, this brief instant. We only have this moment, and you are wasting it on something you can never change. You are letting what's already dead control your life." Think about that. You're allowing a shadow to rule over you, something that no longer exists. Does that make sense? Do you know what's happening while you're trapped in the past? Life goes on. The sun still rises, time still moves, and people keep moving forward. But you don't. You've built a prison around yourself, watching the world from behind bars of regret, refusing to tear them down. Do you think that by clinging to your pain, you're doing the right thing? That by refusing to let go, you're honoring what was lost? You're not. You're only destroying yourself. Epictetus once said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. That means if the past still hurts you, it's because you have given it power. It's not the past that is hurting you, it's you who are allowing it to." So, what will you do? Continue living in the cage you've built, or break free and step outside? Let me tell you a harsh truth. No one cares how much you've suffered. No one can go back and fix things for you. You are the only one who can save yourself, and nothing will change unless you make it happen. Imagine this. You're driving a car, but instead of looking ahead, you keep staring at the rearview mirror. What do you see? the roads you've already passed, the fading tire marks, the turns you could have taken. And then, bam, you crash straight into a wall in front of you. That's exactly what you're doing with your life. You're heading straight into destruction simply because you refuse to look forward. Stop it. Right now, let the past die, truly die, because it no longer means anything. If you've made mistakes, learn from them and move on. If you've lost something valuable, be grateful you had it, but don't lose the present just because you're mourning the past. If someone has hurt you, forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Seneca said, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." Start living now. Don't waste another second. You can't keep moving through life while staring backward. You can't let what's behind you stop you from reaching what's ahead. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to forget everything. I'm not saying what you've been through doesn't matter. I'm saying it has no power over you anymore. You can remember, but don't let it control you. You can feel pain, but don't let it dictate how you live. So ask yourself this: how much longer do you want to stay like this? A year? 10 years? A lifetime? Or will you free yourself today? It's your choice. You can stay trapped, or you can let go and move forward. But if you choose to remain stuck, then don't blame life, because you're the one who decided to live as a prisoner of the past while the door to freedom was always open. Life won't wait for you, and if you hesitate too long, one day you'll wake up and realize you've wasted your entire life suffering over what's already gone. So do the right thing. Let go. Move forward. Right now. Number 4, we resist change even though it is inevitable. Life is a continuous stream of change. It is the rule. It is the essence of all things. And yet, we, fragile, nostalgic beings, often struggle in vain, desperately clinging to what feels familiar, to what seems safe, even when those very things are the chains that bind us. What is the truth? The truth is that everything will change. The truth is that none of us can hold on to youth, salvage a relationship that has decayed, or preserve a state of peace forever. And yet, we spend our entire lives resisting this inevitability. We chase permanence in a world built on impermanence, and in doing so, we turn ourselves into victims of our own unrealistic expectations. Look at yourself. How many times have you suffered simply because things didn't go the way you wanted? How many times have you tried to hold on to someone who was already walking away? How many times have you feared a change that, in hindsight, could have led you to a much greater happiness, if only you had embraced it sooner? We fear change not because it is bad, but because it strips us of what is familiar. But familiarity does not mean goodness. A person trapped in a meaningless job doesn't stay because they love it, but because they fear the unknown. A person enduring a toxic relationship doesn't stay because they are happy, but because they are afraid of loneliness. We should fear the imprisonment of our own souls, and yet we fear freedom instead. The problem is not changing itself. The problem is that we are never truly prepared for it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "All that happens is as habitual and familiar as roses in spring and fruit in the summer. Everything comes and goes according to its own nature. Careers can collapse. Loved ones may drift away. The world as you know it today may no longer exist tomorrow. But instead of resisting this reality, what can you do? You can become stronger, more adaptable, and ready to face every change without being broken by it. There is an old story about a samurai warrior. One day, his house burned to the ground. Everything he had spent a lifetime building was reduced to ashes overnight. People saw him standing before the ruins, not weeping, not raging. He simply smiled and said, "Good, now I can start over." Can you do that? Can you look at loss and see an opportunity? Or will you let yourself drown in sorrow, clinging to things that no longer exist? So, what should we do? Accept that everything will change. Train your mind to be ready to let go. Do not let attachment to something temporary prevent you from growing. When one door closes, you can stand there lamenting, or you can find another door and walk through it. Every day, ask yourself, what is changing in my life right now? Am I resisting it? Or can I use it to become a better version of myself? We cannot control the world, but we can control how we respond to it. And once you understand this, fear will no longer hold you back. You will see that change is not the enemy, it is the greatest teacher. Because it teaches you resilience, courage, and adaptability. It helps you realize that nothing is ever truly lost. Everything is simply transforming into something else. Remember, you are not a lifeless stone, unmoving against time. You are a river, and a river never stops flowing. Now, congratulations, you've made it halfway through, which means you are truly listening, truly confronting the truths that many people choose to ignore. How do you feel? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And don't stop here. Every part of this video is a crucial piece of the puzzle. And what's coming next will not only help you understand, but also show you how to turn awareness into action. Keep watching until the end, because that's where you'll find the answers you've been looking for. Number 5. We try to control things beyond our reach. We don't suffer because the world is unfair, nor because fate is cruel. We suffer because we try to control things that were never ours to control. We entangle ourselves in the invisible chains of expectations, fears, and the illusion that if we try hard enough, if we're smart enough, if we persist long enough, everything will eventually fall into place. But that is nothing more than an illusion. And it is this illusion that drains us, fills us with despair, and leads us astray. Think about the last time you felt disappointed. Maybe you poured your heart into a relationship, but the other person still walked away. Maybe you worked tirelessly, only to see a promotion slip through your fingers. Maybe you planned every detail meticulously, yet life still knocked you down. And in that moment, how did you blame yourself? How angry did you feel? Did you see yourself as a failure? But pause for a second. Did you ever truly have control over that outcome? Or were you simply tormenting yourself over something that was never in your hands to begin with? What makes us suffer most is not the world itself, but the story we tell ourselves about it. When we believe that if we just try harder, love more, think smarter, we can control everything, that belief is what destroys us. We cling to illusions, desperately trying to mold life to our will, only to realize that life moves on, ever-changing, following no script at all. We want everything to go according to plan, but life doesn't care about our plans. Imagine standing before the vast ocean, trying to grasp each wave with your bare hands. The waves rush in, slip through your fingers, and disappear before you can hold them. You grow frustrated. You feel defeated. But then what? The waves were never meant to be held. You cannot command the sea, but you can learn to swim, life is the same. You cannot control the storms that come your way, but you can control how you navigate them. One of the greatest traps in life is the belief that we can control how others think, feel, or act. We want the people we love to love us back. We want respect. We want fairness. But the truth is, no one owes us anything. No one is obligated to love us just because we love them. No one is required to acknowledge our efforts simply because we worked hard. The world does not operate by the rules we wish it did. The sooner we accept this, the less we will suffer. Look at politics, economics, society. Chaos, corruption, injustice are everywhere. You can be angry, you can complain, you can fight, but ask yourself, can I truly control this? If not, what can I control? You cannot change the entire world with a single scream, but you can change yourself. You can be better. You can choose how you respond, how you face reality, how you live in a world that seems insane while still holding on to your inner peace. Epictetus once said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within your control, and some things are not." Do you want to be happy? Learn to accept that not everything belongs to you. Learn to distinguish between what you can change and what you must let go of. Only then will you truly be free. So the final question is this: will you continue struggling with things beyond your reach? Or will you let go and focus on yourself? You can spend your entire life fighting against the unchangeable, or you can use that energy to sharpen yourself, to become stronger, wiser, and more at peace. The choice is yours. And if there is one thing you take away from this, let it be this: you cannot control the world, but you can control yourself. And that is the only thing that truly matters. Number 6, we fear death, but not a meaningless life. We fear death, yet we don't fear a meaningless life. Perhaps this is humanity's greatest paradox. We dread the end, yet waste our days as if they were infinite. We shy away from thoughts of death, yet don't hesitate to live a dull, purposeless existence. But if death is the worst thing that can happen, isn't an empty life even worse? The problem isn't that we don't have enough time, it's that we carelessly throw it away. Take a moment to reflect on your day. Have you truly done something meaningful? Or has most of your time been swallowed by mindless conversations, endless social media scrolling, and trivial worries? Sadly, most people live as if they have an unlimited supply of time, only to panic when faced with death, realizing they have never truly lived. So why don't we fear a meaningless life? Because it's easy. Living without purpose requires no effort. You just follow what society expects, walk the predetermined path, avoid challenges, and let yourself drift. But living a meaningful life demands courage. It requires you to confront what truly matters, to reject the superficial, and to chase what sets your soul on fire, even when it goes against what others expect of you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "It's not death that a man should fear, but rather he should fear never beginning to live." The truth is, many people don't live, they merely exist. They wake up, work, eat, entertain themselves, and sleep. Stuck in an endless loop, they never stop to ask, what truly makes me feel alive? They fear failure, criticism, and risk so much that they'd rather settle for mediocrity than step beyond their comfort zone. But imagine this: if you knew tomorrow was your last day, what would you do? Would you still worry about what others think? Would you still hesitate to chase your dreams? Or would you throw yourself into life with the passion you've been suppressing? Why wait until death is near to start truly living? There's a story of a man who worked tirelessly for 40 years, saving everything for retirement, believing that's when he would finally start enjoying life. He spent his youth chasing money, accumulating wealth, postponing everything he wanted to do. But when retirement arrived, he realized his health was gone, his loved ones had moved on, and time had never waited for him. He had traded his entire life for a future that never came. He didn't die at 70, he died at 30, the moment he stopped truly living. Are you sure you're not falling into the same trap? Are you waiting for someday to do what truly matters? How many dreams have you buried beneath fear and procrastination? How many things have you always wanted to do but never started? The most important question is not, when will I die? But am I truly living? Because while death is inevitable, a meaningless life is a choice. None of us know how much time we have left. You might have 50 years or just 50 days, but that's not what matters. What matters is what you do with the time you have. You can keep living like a machine, waiting for better days to come, or you can decide right now to stop delaying, stop fearing, and stop chasing things that don't matter. Find what makes you feel truly alive. It could be a passion, a career, a mission, or simply the way you love and connect with the people around you. When death knocks, it won't count the years you existed. It will only see the impact you left behind. Do you want to leave this world with regrets of a life unlived, or with peace, knowing you gave it everything? That decision isn't in the future, it's in your hands right now. If you choose to truly live instead of just existing, comment "truly live," because in the end, no one remembers how long you lived. They only remember how you lived. Number 7. We avoid silence and are afraid to face ourselves. Imagine sitting alone in an empty room. No phone, no music, no one to talk to. Just you and the silence. How does it feel? Do you feel restless, uneasy? If so, you might be suffering from one of the most dangerous afflictions of our time, the fear of facing yourself. The modern world does not allow us to be silent. The moment you open your eyes in the morning, your phone buzzes with countless notifications. You step outside, and the world is filled with honking cars, chattering voices, endless noise. While working, you put on headphones, music, podcasts, anything to keep your mind occupied. By nightfall, you lose yourself in an endless stream of short videos, scrolling mindlessly, not realizing that you are running away from one thing and one thing only, yourself. But why are we so afraid of silence? Because in silence, there is nothing left to hide behind. All the thoughts we've been avoiding come rushing in like a tidal wave. Our fears, our regrets, the unanswered questions we've pushed aside for so long. We can no longer drown them out with sound or distractions, and that terrifies us. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "People try to get away from it all, to the country, to the beach, to the mountains. You always wish that you could too, but you can get away from it any time you like, by going within." We try to escape loneliness by filling our lives with meaningless noise. But no matter where you go, no matter how busy you keep yourself, you will always carry yourself with you. There is no running away from who you are. A real-life example. In 2014, a group of psychologists conducted an unusual experiment. They placed participants in an empty room, no phone, no conversation, nothing to do. Just 15 minutes alone with their thoughts. The result? Most participants felt extremely uncomfortable. Even more shocking, some chose to administer mild electric shocks to themselves just to have something, anything, to distract them from the silence. That is how far people will go to avoid facing their own minds. Look at history's greatest thinkers. Friedrich Nietzsche spent long afternoons walking alone, letting his thoughts wander freely, and from that solitude, his deepest philosophies emerged. Leonardo da Vinci, a genius across multiple disciplines, devoted time to silently observing the world, allowing his mind to connect ideas that others never noticed. Silence is not an empty void. It is fertile ground where creativity and wisdom take root. So, how do you begin? Start by challenging yourself. Set aside at least 10 minutes each day to sit in silence. No phone, no noise, just you and your thoughts. If it feels uncomfortable, don't quit. Let it happen. Observe what comes up. This is not a battle. It's a journey towards self-awareness. Journaling is another powerful tool. Marcus Aurelius wrote meditations not for publication, but as a personal dialogue with himself. Do the same. Write down your thoughts, your feelings, the questions that weigh on you. Don't write for others. Write to see yourself more clearly. And finally, learn to enjoy your own company. Instead of constantly surrounding yourself with people, take solo walks, have coffee alone, or simply sit in stillness. Let your mind drift without distraction. There is a unique beauty in silence. It is where you meet your truest self, without masks, without noise, without pretense. And when you stop running, you will realize that silence is not an empty abyss. It is the doorway to freedom. So pause for a moment. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath and listen. What is rising within you? We've just uncovered 7 hard truths, truths that may have been difficult to hear, but ones you needed to confront. Life doesn't pause for you to make peace with the past. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. Time keeps moving forward, and every moment spent trapped in regret, fear, or resistance to reality is a moment lost forever. But here's the good news. You have a choice. You can continue living the way you always have, or you can let go, accept, and move forward with a mind that is stronger, clearer, and more resilient. Stoicism doesn't teach you to be numb. It teaches you to master yourself, to live with purpose instead of being consumed by things beyond your control. If this video resonated with you, even just a little, don't forget to hit like so I know you're on this journey with me. Share your thoughts in the comments or tell your own story, because someone out there might need to hear it. If you know someone struggling with these same battles, share this video with them. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel. There's so much more coming your way, and I promise it's worth staying for. Thank you for being here. Now, go forward, stronger than ever.